While our moms and our aunts freak out on Facebook about AI and Elon Musk and what the heck is an electric car that can drive itself, you don't put gas in it? We're going to talk about something a little bit more exciting. The battle of all battles between the machines. We're going to take not one, not two, not three Transformers, but 10 Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons going up against MechaGodzilla. This guy is the king of all machines, and it's going to take more than Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. So we're taking 10 of the strongest Transformers from the movies going up against MechaGodzilla, and we're going to see who can come out on top. Hey, while you're here, while I have your attention, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button. I know you're going to love this video, and we're also trying to beat HGTV in subs. Here's the thing, HGTV is a great channel. If I had to name one of my guilty pleasures, it would definitely be watching HGTV while I'm by myself. Fixer Upper, I mean, Hometown, come on. The Property Brothers, right? The thing is that Dan and I have this thing called DanCo with you guys, and Property Brothers have this thing that they do together as well, but they're actual brothers. So we wrote on HGTV's channel asking if we pass them in subs, can Dan and I officially be brothers? Help us beat them in subs so we can officially become Property Bros, Property being YouTube, Bros being Dan and I, and we're going to be the real Property Brothers here on YouTube at DanCo. Let's start off talking about MechaGodzilla. How strong, how durable, how fast is this guy for 10 Transformers to be able to go up against him? A brief backstory on the world of Titans, the torture that humanity goes through having to share this one world with them. Apex Cybernetics actually decided to build their own. With advanced technology, 2 skulls of the mighty Ghidorah, and nearly $1 trillion, MechaGodzilla was released to the world. Powered by possible infinite energy from the hollow earth and controlled by a warped partial conscience of Ghidorah, MechaGodzilla quickly becomes Kong and Godzilla's toughest opponent to date. It took them teaming up together to beat MechaGodzilla. Not looking great for our Transformers so far. This guy is super tough and he is super strong, and his arsenal of weaponry is thick. 2 C's, super thick. Like his proton scream, his rocket boosters in his back, boosters to help him swim underwater, and buzzsaw blade fingers sharp enough and strong enough to cut through Godzilla's hide. Let's talk about some of his strength, some of his durability, and some of his speed. He's able to rocket punch Godzilla to the ground. He's able to smack Kong away with his tail. He's also able to hold Kong on his shoulders and to slam him down to the ground. This guy is super strong. He's way faster than Godzilla in close combat, and maybe more impressively, he's able to clash and overpower Godzilla's infamous atomic breath. This is the skill that all Godzilla fans drool over, and Mecha was able to make it look like child play. This is insane. This is like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan goes up against a Cell Jr. Not good. Not good. Now that we briefly talked about MechaGodzilla, let's talk about our 10 Transformers. Just to keep the video under 30 minutes, let's talk about the 10 Transformers names, and then we're going to talk about their specific feats that's going to help them potentially win this fight against MechaGodzilla. Will they even be able to make a dent? Well, let's find out. These are the 10 that we're going to use. We're going to use Bumblebee, Shockwave, Ironhide, Devastator, Grimlock, Megatron, Optimus Prime, Sentinel Prime, Lockdown, and Quintessa. Let's jump in. So Bumblebee is well armed, and he made it through 6 entire movies, while the rest of his co-workers, fighters, comrades passed away. Bumblebee was the one that was consistent, that stayed alive, that was endurable, fast, and smart enough and strong enough to make it through every single movie. Of course, he's kind of like the guy everybody fell in love with. But that does say a lot about his character. It says a lot about his ability. Even though he is small compared to other Transformers, he is comparable to big threats. He's able to make it through tough situations and even able to fight off bigger guys. Shockwave has the reputation that precedes himself in a bad way. His driller weapon single-handedly topples entire buildings, and it takes an advanced Optimus Prime to take him out. Ironhide has the strength and the firepower that has changed the tide in several battles for the Autobots. Ironhide would be tough to take down in a fight, but he was surprise attacked by his, what he thought was friend, Sentinel Prime turned betrayer. Sentinel Prime is next, the surprise villain of the Dark Moon. Spoiler alert, the movie's 10 years old. If you haven't seen the movie yet, that's your fault. I don't even know if we should have to say spoiler, but spoiler. He dies, and he's a bad guy. Sentinel was actually a big deal. He defeated two of the strongest Autobots in no time. Ironhide, like we talked about earlier, and Optimus Prime twice, fighting ability alone. So Sentinel might actually have a few hits that he'll get off on MechaGodzilla. Stopped by Megatron before he could deal a killing blow to Optimus, Sentinel proved to be one of the world's largest threats. Now let's talk about Megatron, the guy that is pretty much unstoppable, who has been stopped multiple times by Optimus Prime, but he continues to come back stronger and stronger. This guy is ruthless. He always comes back better. And Optimus is literally the only Autobot who has a chance against him. That's why we're going to talk about Optimus Prime next. The legend and the most iconic Transformer of all time, Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime's war skill is nearly unmatched. I mean, he's not the best fighter in the group, and he's definitely lost fights before, but his greatest asset is his allies. I mean, his compassion and his heart for other people has been what has allowed his friends and his allies to stick their neck out for him each time that he's on the ground, about to die, about to lose. He has someone that is always there to step in. Speaking of allies, Grimlock will be fighting as well. King of the Dinobots, a legendary warrior feared by many, Grimlock challenges Optimus. Though Optimus gets the best of Grimlock, Grimlock goes and quickly destroys the Decepticon forces that have been giving the Autobots a lot of trouble. His size, his strength, and his durability is definitely going to be a plus when fighting MechaGodzilla. Because honestly, you're going to see this a little bit later. The size difference is shocking. 3 more Transformers to go. We have the Devastator, a massive combiner compressed of 5 angry Decepticons, literal rage monsters. The only downfall with this guy is he's kind of sluggish when it comes to speed, and he was taken out by a shot from a railgun. Honestly, the only thing I could think of for him to do in this fight is maybe like suck on Godzilla's foot and like keep him like anchored down. It's gross, but that might could work. Next is Lockdown, the one out of all the villains to say he cleanly defeated Optimus Prime on his own. Lockdown is a great fighter. Again, full of a huge arsenal of weaponry. It took a full team to take him down. But since he's going to be teamed up with the other 9, he's going to actually be adding a lot here in the fight against MechaGodzilla, but maybe not as much as Quintessa. Describing herself as Prime of Life, the creator of Cybertronians, her powers are far beyond any of the others. Able to restrain Optimus and then brainwash him is no small feat. She is known as the Great Deceiver, and she leagues above most. So what happens when these 10 Transformers go up against this one MechaGodzilla? Well, it's going to have to be a lot of teamwork, a lot of planning. There has to be a lot of outsmarting, honestly, because the size difference here is astonishing, honestly. Optimus Prime is 28 feet tall, and MechaGodzilla is 400 feet tall. Not even close, not even close. Optimus Prime and most of the Transformers are able to take a few bullet shots. They're able to take rockets and missiles. I mean, Optimus Prime carries a sword that is able to cut through other Transformers. He could probably use that. He was able to throw it through another Transformer. He climbed up an 80-foot Grimlock and punched him in the face and brought him to his knees, drew a little bit of blood. So potentially there could be a scenario where Optimus Prime just climbs up the side of MechaGodzilla and delivers a few blows here and there while the other Transformers are kind of just like distractions. That might be the best thing, sadly. But a secret weapon for the Transformers has to be Quintessa. Yeah, she's powerful, but she also has mind control. Could MechaGodzilla fall victim to mind control? I think it could be kind of difficult because being that Ghidorah is controlling its consciousness, I'm not sure how much mind there is there to control. The biggest disadvantage here is still going to have to be the size difference. The truth is there's just so much firepower that each of these Transformers is going to be able to bring to the fight, but there's not much they're going to be able to do to defend Mecha's proton scream. This thing literally buried Godzilla. That's crazy. It sliced through buildings and cut through the ground. Also, he's fast. He's able to move at high speeds in short bursts with his rocket boosters, and that's crazy because because he's so big. We're thinking that he weighs in somewhere between 50,000 and 100,000 tons, which translates to pounds as 200 million pounds. And if he's able to move around with boosters and rockets and propel over here and fly this way, that's kind of scary for something that heavy. Being that MechaGodzilla weighs upwards of 200 million pounds, the biggest transformer we have is the Devastator, who comes in at around 100 feet tall and weighs in about 1,650 tons, which is 3.3 million pounds, which is big, but in comparison to MechaGodzilla, not even in the same vicinity. Also, if you were to stack all the Transformers on top of one another, being that Devastator is 100 feet tall, and we would kind of fudge the numbers with the rest, saying somewhere around 25 feet tall, they're still going to be shorter than MechaGodzilla. Being that MechaGodzilla is so heavy and he's actually so strong, he's not going to be able to outmaneuver and outspeed most of the Transformers, but there is a good chance that he's faster than the Devastator and he would devastatingly stomp him out on the ground, literally with all of his weight, and completely crush him. The only chance the Transformers have here is if Quintessa is actually able to use her mind control. If she's not able to do that, 10 out of 10, MechaGodzilla wins this fight. Honestly, MechaGodzilla was able to tank a hit from Kong's axe. When it wasn't charged up, took a huge hit from Kong's axe. I'm not sure if any Transformer could bring that type of blunt force hit to MechaGodzilla. They don't have the range to rear back and hit that hard. They don't have a weapon in their arsenal to make that kind of impact. So today, I believe MechaGodzilla stays the king of all bots. MechaGodzilla wins. Hey, but who do you think wins this battle? Do you think it's MechaGodzilla, or do you think that I missed something? Do you think that actually these 10 Transformers can beat MechaGodzilla? Do you think there's any Transformer that can beat MechaGodzilla? I know what some of you guys might think or put in the comments. Unicron, yeah, he could beat MechaGodzilla. Well, isn't he like a god level Transformer? But anyways, if you have other ideas that you want to see happen here in the Battle Arena, make sure to comment those down below. We love to see your suggestions and requests. Also, if you haven't got any DanCo merch, check it out. DanCo right here on the chest piece. Get it while it's still cold outside. Get your hoodie. It's warm and nice and feels great. Also, we have these 2 videos that you can check out right now. Why don't you go ahead and click one of those, check those out. Help us pass HGTV. So if you haven't liked, if you haven't subbed, make sure to do it now. And until then, we'll see you next time.